Hey Flosstube, how's everybody doing? It's Lori here, also known as Sharky Stitcher on this channel and on Instagram. Thanks for joining. We talk about cross stitch here. It's a lovely little addiction, so get comfy, get a drink. We talk about our stitching, we talk about our collections and all that fun stuff. So yeah, we have fun. Thank you guys for joining me. It's been a minute since my last video, as kind of usual. I am getting ready to leave on a trip here in the next couple of days, so things have been a little bit hectic. Stitching wise though, I do have a fair bit to show, I guess you'd say, before leaving on my trip. So I'm going to go over that. I did buy a few things, not much. It's not going to take too long to go through it. I haven't been buying much because I'm getting ready to leave on a trip. So number one, I didn't want a bunch of packages. I'm going to be stopping my mail, and I don't like the idea of a bunch of packages getting stopped at the post office. Like, I just don't like the idea of that. So I wasn't ordering for that. Also, I'm getting ready to leave on a trip, so I'm like saving my money for the trip kind of thing. That, and it's like I do have plenty of stuff, so I don't really need to buy anything. But so yeah, just a few things to show you that way. I have a couple stitchy considerations for the trip, which I had told you guys last video what I was planning on taking with me. Now things have changed a little bit just because a couple realizations that I've had, but we'll get into that. I've got a few new whips. I'm excited to share them with you. So yeah, let's start with the haul because that won't take long at all. So one is a design that's pretty old. Let's see, when did it come out? 2005. And I remember when it came out, I immediately liked it, but it was one of those designs that everybody started stitching it, and it was one of them things where I didn't want to stitch it because everybody was stitching. So that is Ghost Ship by Cricut Collection. I love this design, mostly because like the little sea monster skeleton, I think he's super cool. It's kind of aquatic, but what finally made me pull the trigger on buying this is my son likes boats. So I thought, oh, he'll like the idea of me stitching this because it's a boat. So I don't know why that just motivated me to go ahead and get it. That and spooky season is approaching and I wanted some more spooky stuff. So there's that. This other thing I bought, I completely blame Kyle Reichenmeyer from Stitching and Sound for enabling. This is Gold Collection's Scarlet Wizard. I love all the candles. I'm trying to get to where the glare is not on there. Look at all those candles, and I like the book. Colors are pretty. This is hard to find, but I went on eBay and there was a seller that had several of them in Russia. At first I thought it was a little suspicious, but it's a full solid kit. It got here quick, and apparently with getting things from Russia, if your stuff gets on the plane, you'll get it fairly quickly. If it goes on the boat, then you won't get it quickly. So I guess this must have made it on the plane because I got it pretty quickly. Looking at the chart, I'm like, that's gonna take me a while, because I think it's bigger than it looks here. It comes with black 4-letter word fabric, so I won't be using that, and I definitely will use opalescent for that. Come on. So, but I don't know when I'll start it, but I'm happy to have it. And I know it's so weird, I love the candles. The candles are so cool. So I want to stitch those candles, and I'll stitch the wizard too just because he's in there. So that's pretty much it for haul. I did order some more crystals, which ironic, I just finished filming a tour of the Sparkle Hoard. This is all my crystals. And yes, I ordered more, and I still want more in addition to that. I've made several little lists, because I'm trying to fatten up the stores that I have and grab a couple new colors. They say oh, don't panic, Swarovskis will still be around, but I ain't buying it. So I'm just making sure I get all my favorite colors, and then if they stop making them, maybe by the time I run out of the colors that I really like and need, someone else will have stepped in and filled in the blanks in the market. I will say I do have plenty of the Preciosa, and a lot of them I didn't even know were Preciosa, until I start going through my collection. I think even in the tour, there's a couple that I'm talking about, and then you see on the sticker it says Preciosa, and then so it's we'll be fine, everybody. But for me, I feel better hoarding. So that's what I'm gonna do. Okay, so let's go into the travel stitchy considerations. Okay, so basically at this current moment, I don't know if I'm taking any stitching with me because I had planned to bring, let me show you the design. I showed it last time. It's Al Force Embroideries Kikimora, little swamp witch. I love her. And I'm switching the fabric. She was supposed to be on this piece here, but I opted to swap her for this piece here, and it's on a dreaded hoop, but that's what I was planning on going with the traveling. Here's the colors, and this is an opalescent too. I think this piece is a little skinny, but I don't think it's gonna be that bad. See, like it's just like maybe off by an inch on each side. I'll probably be framing it myself, so I don't care if I only have an inch of border on each side. But basically, I started thinking about traveling with my stitching, and I was reminded of the time that I went to my mom's house for Thanksgiving because I was cooking over there, and while things were like cooking, I brought some stitching with me and was working on it, and I remembered I didn't have my straightening iron, and I like ironing my threads nowadays, and it just makes life changing, like makes everything so much better. And I remembered what a pain in the butt and how much I hated stitching even more. Like the ironing spoiled me and it kind of ruined me for stitching without it. So I realized I'm not going to have my iron with me on the plane. Now initially I thought, oh, don't panic, just pre-iron. You'll have a little kink in the middle from where you loop it on the card, but no biggie. But the problem with that is when I iron threads, I separate them, put them back together, and then iron them. So it's not like I can just cut, a couple lengths of floss and iron that. I'd have to, separate everything, and that's a lot of prep work. Now I will say these Al Force embroidery threads look fairly decent. Like they're very kind of smooth, but hey, so does most DMC, Oh, and another cool thing about Al Force embroidery, when they give you the threads, like the little bobbin attached to it has the symbol for the pattern on it too, which I thought that was really cool. So basically, realizing I'm not going to have my iron with me while I'm on the plane, which the plane was the main thing I was going to do the stitching on. Like, yeah, I could stitch in the hotel room, like if it's rainy or if we're in the hotel at night, whatever, like I could do my stitching. I could have a travel iron there, but I like to be a minimalist when I'm packing, and I'm already cramming a lot of stuff because I've got snorkel gear. I'm trying to go carry on only. So I'll right away, like I have some pretty nice fins, I will say. And I'm being very stubborn, like my fins are coming with me, because I love them because they don't make my feet hurt, and I hate, we have at least 4 snorkeling trips booked, because I'm obsessed with aquatic life. And I don't need my feet being tore up by rental snorkel gear, snorkel fins. So I'm taking my fins with me, and I've got the standard, 20-inch carry-on bag, and I had to play Tetris, to get it to fit in there. I was planning on just, chucking this in the pattern and some nail clippers to use as scissors into my, personal item / purse, basically. And I could have made that work. But then when I started thinking you're not going to have your iron, I'm like, I kind of lost the desire to take stitching with me. So yeah. Which is funny because before that happened, I was thinking of bringing 2 projects. And the second project I was considering is another beachy appropriate Sandy the Summer Witch. Oh, look at her. She's perfect. I love her. Now, I love Brooks Books Publishing because a lot of her designs are very textured. So like the broom is like threads cut and tied together. Her hair are the threads pulled forward and braided over. She's also stitched on perforated paper, and her hat is cut out and sewn on top, as is like the handle of the shovel, as is Mr. Crab here. Now I wasn't going to do her on perforated paper. My plan for this was to stitch her, like her main body part, on fabric and then use perforated paper for the hat, for the crab, and all the little accessories. And I had a couple different pieces of fabric I was looking at. First I was thinking this, but then when I looked at like her skirt and her hair, I thought those are so gonna get lost. So I kind of went away from that, and this is 32 count Bramble Belfast. It's just kind of a sandy color. I like it. I think it will work well for her. So yeah, that's what I'm going to stitch her on. I don't have all the floss for it, you know, but ultimately when I was thinking of taking her, I decided, you know, she's probably not a good one because she's a little design. But look at her floss list. Yeah, compared to Teresa Wentzler, that ain't nothing, but for being on a plane, that's a lot of colors, in my opinion, unless you're cutting short lengths and putting on one of these. So I was just like, she's not a good option. That, and you know, she's got all those extra little details on there. You know, I could have at least done all the pieces and then put them together when I got back home, but I didn't really want to deal with that. And then I realized I'm not going to have my iron, and so that just kind of popped my whole bubble anyways. So that kind of sucks a little bit. Plan B, I'm bringing my Nintendo DS and I'm going to kill zombies, a la Resident Evil, the original, which is so much fun for me. So that makes me happy, but I'm sure you guys aren't too interested in that. But anyways, the DS is so much easier to take. My battery life will last for 3 hours and I have a power pack, so we'll be good to go. So that's how I will keep myself from freaking out on the plane. Okay, so now let's get into whips. Let me show you one new start. So I started over here, Autumn Banner by Chatelaine. I'll show her to you in a minute. I got her started and then I had another side quest. I went on a detour. Someone shared a design. Can't remember the name, but I'll put it in the description so you guys, if you're interested, want to, you know, see what it is. And they posted it on a Facebook group, and I am terrible with names. So sorry if you're watching this channel, you know this. I can't remember which Facebook group it was, but they shared it and I was like, oh my God, ran straight over and bought it. Gotta have it. Banana Shark. Isn't he so cute? I love him. I was like, oh my God, I have to stitch him like right now. I was going to take him with me, but then when I started him, I'm like, I'm probably going to have him finished before we even leave. Well, that didn't happen either, but I did get a good start on him. But he's just so cute. He's so ridiculous that I just love him. This designer has several quirky, cute, weird little sharks, and I love them, and I've had them all on my watch list, and I intend to buy them, but him, he just like, ugh, I just had to have him. So here's my start on him, and I'm like, he's a crazy, loopy, yellow banana shark, so I'm going to do him on some crazy opalescent fabric. This is a cut of that weird piece of Da Vinci that I had that came out more purple than blue, and I kind of like contrasting colors, so I just decided he's a little yellow shark, do him on some purple fabric. That, and this fabric's so pretty. It's definitely way too big for him, but this fabric's weird, and I'm like, oh, there's so much pretty stuff on here. I don't want to just, you know, cut it into teeny pieces. So, but that's all I got done on him for the time being. And I couldn't help myself. I bought this for that jack-o'-lantern for the Halloween window. So I'm like, well, hell, let's make him sparkling just because that makes me happy. Sounds like my pug has a flat. So let's move over to this gal here. And I do love this one. Let me take it off the bars and let me unroll it so you can get the full effect. I did post several pictures of this on Instagram. I have gotten a little bit further since the last picture I posted as of today's date, September 6th. This is a really fun design. I like it. If you like chatelaines and you're kind of intimidated to start one of the big mandalas, one of these seasonal banner designs would be really good because it's like her very intricate motifs with the mandalas, but on a much smaller, more bite-sized chunk scale. Before I show you my stitching, I have a chart here that's so kind of, it needs zoomed in that I'll show it to you guys. And I know you're not gonna be able to see anything because me looking at it now, I can't really see anything. So, but this is the top. This is the second, which was where kind of, I started like right here because I wanted to be in the middle, but I went up here because this little piece in here has a little hedgehog right there. And back in the day when Chatelaine was on the bulletin board and Facebook, you know, wasn't a thing. No one talks on the bulletin boards anymore. It's all on Facebook. But back in the day, I think this design came out, and this is Autumn Dusk. So it's a bell pull with an autumn theme. when it came out, it was, I think, a mystery type thing. So that's where they give out like pieces of it at a time. And this hedgehog was a button. And then that button got discontinued. So Martina designed this little over one hedgehog to take the button's place for the people that couldn't buy it. He's cute. I do like him. But I found another button that I just love so much. And it solves a problem for me because I hate squirrels. They're bastards. So I'm not stitching them. So what's going to happen is I'm going to take Mr. Hedgehog. He is going to replace the squirrels. I'm going to mirror him. So I'm going to have two little kissy hedgehogs up there. And then my button is going to go here. I haven't shown that button on Instagram yet, but I'll show you guys. I think I might have shown you in like a video way back when I was going over my chatelaine kits too. So you might, if you've watched my videos from long ago, you might know, but I'll show it to you guys just because. But this is the top. So there's 5 motifs. Here's the first, the second, this is the middle, and the middle looks very much like the centers and the mandalas. So there's the middle, the 4th, and the 5th. And this fabric is the recommended fabric, which I think they no longer make. And I had to like, I did a trade with someone in Europe, I think, to get my hands on it. But it's basically just this, you know, pistachio kind of green color. I love it though. Okay, so let me show you this. Let me move the clay by Kim's first. We'll talk about those in a minute. There we go. So this is where the hedgehog is supposed to be. Let me grab my replacement bead, which this bead I found on Etsy on a whim. I wasn't looking specifically for this project. I just happened to find this and I thought that needs to go on a fall design, and it just, I stitched this. I wanted to get this motif done first because I wanted to see if he'd fit. So here's what's going in there. Look at him. Isn't he so cute? Oh my God, I just dropped him. But it's a little sleepy fox. Isn't that cute? I love it. And I think it looks like fall. I like how he looks on the fabric. I think he fits perfect. I mean, he covers a little bit of the stitching, but none of the flowers. So I love that. And if you want to see, like if you're interested in getting one like this, there's a store on Etsy. This is like a polymer clay bead that was made from a mold. So she has more, and she has the red fox, and she has a white fox, like an Arctic type fox. She also has a curled up sleeping little like fawn deer, like a baby deer. There's a few other animals, I can't remember all of them. She also has like faces, I think like owls, foxes. I'm not sure of everything, but I'll post the name of her Etsy shop. I think it's from the Ukraine, maybe. I could be wrong about that, but I know it's over in Europe somewhere. But it's just so cute, and it's a bead, so it's got a hole in it so I can stitch it on. And I just think that will be so cute. So much cuter than them stupid squirrels for sure. Here's I love this. It looks like all of her centers, like for her mandalas. It's very sparkly too. There we go. And yes, let's talk about the clay by Kim's too. So the last video, I had mentioned that I had managed to grab one of the sunflowers. So you guys have heard about him, but you haven't seen him. Get this rolled up here. I kind of like sticking him right where my fox pendant's gonna go, just because he kind of fits really good. That, and it kind of takes away from the, oh, something's missing in that spot. So here he is. I do love him so much. He looks like a little lion, kind of, and he's got a brown body instead of a green one. So he looks like fall. So I have him and this other new sunflower just because they look like fall. You know, I still need to catch some Halloween dragons, so I do think my tropical dragon still looks really cool though, even though it's, you know, he's still orange. And then I also grabbed a periwinkle dragon, and I caught this one and this one at the same time, which was surprising to me. But I really love this sunflower too. Like, I don't have many of her flowers, so I'm trying to get more of them, at least the flowers that I like. I didn't really want any of like the cherry blossoms. but these flowers were cool. And she had posted another sunflower dragon on eBay, but that one had a green body, but just it was just a cute dragon. Like the way she did it, he was cute. And I was contemplating going for him. But then the price went higher than I was willing to pay, especially for a dragon type that I already have, even though he was different. But one thing that was different about him was the caning design. So this guy's petals, I guess you'd say, they're like dark in the middle and then they kind of go lighter, kind of like a piece of candy corn. But then this type, it was more like a sunburst kind of effect. I know you guys can't see that too well, but just the detail in the petals are different. And that's something that kind of hangs me up on Clay by Kim's creations, is sometimes I get really sucked into the play of color, and that's what enchants me the most. So that dragon on eBay had these kinds, so it was different than this one, and I really liked both of them. But then when I got this sunflower had the petal design that this one didn't. So it's like, it was kind of the best situation for me, because it's like I don't have two sunflower dragons. I've got one, and then I've got a sunflower, and I've got both of those cane patterns that I really liked. So, but yeah, that's one thing I obsess over about Clay by Kim. Isn't this one so cute? Like, I think this one's got a really sweet face. I will be tucking them away while I leave. I know I'm paranoid. It's like someone's going to break into my house and be like, "Oh, Clay by Kim's, let's steal those," you know, like forget the TV and whatnot. But I will be tucking them away, you know, just in case a tornado blows my house over while I'm gone. So yeah, there's that. And I think that's pretty much it. I know that's kind of a short video, but like I said, I've been busy getting ready for this trip. I will probably have more to share when I get back from my trip, because there's some fabric that I want, and I'm contemplating ordering it now. That way I can leave on my trip, and you know, fabric usually takes a while anyways, and then when I come back, you know, it's gonna be around time for the fabric to show up. So that, and I don't know, there's a few new designs coming out, lots of new mermaids. Bella Filipina, oh my gosh, so many new mermaids. There's a new dark one that I really like, and I've kind of got an idea for what kind of fabric I want to do her on, so I want to kind of order it now. That way when I do get the chart, which by the way, if you're into like the Bella Filipina mermaids, or like pretty much any mermaids, you need to follow the Under the Sea Fabrics group on Facebook with Leslie LaFleur, because pretty much as soon as she can get her hands on those charts, she does. And a lot of people were asking me when I started Maiden of Tubataha where I got her. Well, I got her from Leslie, because she has you post on Facebook, you know, if you want this. She does the chart, she does a bead pack, and she does a fiber pack. And she's like, let me know which ones you want, and you can ask for just one or, you know, all of them. So that's how I got my hands on her so quick, you know, because other people said I'm still trying to find her. So if you're interested in that, join that group. That's probably the quickest way you can get a hold of those mermaids. I have already put dibs on the new, what's she called? The dark mermaid of the dark seas or something like that. She's creepy looking and I love it. So I've already pre-ordered her beads and her fibers, which I'm wondering how many beads she has, because her bead pack didn't seem like it was that expensive. Maybe it's because they were Mill Hill. I don't know, but conversion, you know, that'll happen. So anyways, get ready to see a tour of the crystals. Maybe eventually I'll add a tour of the Delica collection that I have. I'd also like to do like a fabric tour, you know. Look forward to a Clay by Kim tour later on in the year. I want to finish my full year, so by the time she starts making Yule dragons, unless I completely bomb on her fall dragons, if I don't get any of those, well, you know, I'm waiting for them to come next year, because I love my fall dragons. So, but anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you guys next time. Bye bye.